Hey everybody, Gladys with Road to Self-Reliance. I am recording this on Saturday, September 24th, 2022. The date's important because I woke up yesterday morning to the news that Florida is now in the cone of uncertainty for what has become Tropical Depression Ian. So it looks like in the next 5 or so days, we could be getting hit with a hurricane. So I wanted to do a video kind of showing different things we do to prepare for it, what happens during the hurricane, if hopefully nothing, but if anything, and some of the aftermath. So the first thing I've done is print off my hurricane preparation checklist. I will put a link in the description below and may put a link up here somewhere to link to the video I did on how I created this checklist and how you can do something similar for yourself for any type of major weather event you may have to go through. One of the things that I do to prepare when a hurricane is coming, I fill something like that with ice and put them in the freezer. And this can serve a couple of different purposes. One, if the power goes out, the more that's in the freezer that's frozen, the longer it will stay cold. So this can help keep it from thawing out quite so rapidly. Two, if we are needing it, we can put it into an ice chest um, and our cooler with some of our food out of the refrigerator to help keep it cool, or to keep this in the refrigerator itself, again, to help with the cooling. And finally, if we lose water, this can be melted, and it's coming out of my freezer. It's been filtered, everything. It's ready to go. Just need to thaw it out, and then you can use it for drinking, cooking, or anything else you need it to do. All right, so one of the things you have to do in getting prepared for this is assume you're going to lose power. So you need to get everything charged up. And I've got my VHF radio. I had this when I lived on the boat, and I had it so that I could, call other people, call for help, do different things like that. So I've got the charger out for that. But again, I'm going to wait until the absolute last minute to charge it so that the idea is that when power goes off, everything's really near a full charge. So I'll do that later. And then I bought this little gizmo a couple of years ago. It's a running snail. I'll try to find a link for it because it is multi-purpose and is really handy to have in situations like this. So you have got AM, FM radio, but you've also got the VHF, radio control tuning, got your different bands here. It's got a flashlight on it that will do different things. And then there's a hand crank back here so that you can charge it. And it's got a little solar panel up here. Oh, there's the other light that came on. Anyway, you can set this to be rechargeable out in the sun so that a lot of times with the hurricane, you can lose power at any point in time during the hurricane. And then once the worst of it is over, then the electric company can get out here to try to restore power. But that can still take several days. So being able to recharge this would be very handy. It's also got a USB plug there so that if you've got power in this, you can plug your phone into this to recharge it. It's not something you want to do every day, but it is a handy feature to have. It's Tuesday afternoon, September 27th, and I'm kind of doing some of the final cleanup in the garden. I'm really unhappy. I'm going to take all these peppers off. They are really coming back good now that it's cooled off a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and pick them all in the plants. I may leave them here, but I have a feeling they're just going to get torn up and won't produce anymore. But hey, we had a pretty good season with those. And of course, my green beans that I just planted last week are coming up nicely, better than they've done all year. And I'm going to leave them and hope for the best with that. I've gotten some pots pretty much cleaned out, and there's one little tomato on there, cherry tomato. And then on my cucumber over here, I've got that one, and then I've got two down here, and there's another one starting up here. So I think this is going to go in the garage. I'm going to try to save those. That's the good thing about containers, that you can move around, but a lot of this stuff is just going to get put in the corner, and we're going to hope for the best. Hey everyone, just to give kind of a quick update, it is now Tuesday, September 27th, and it is 8:30 in the evening, and it's been a long day. We've spent most of the day outside working on various parts to get ready for the storm. I got my plants tucked in corners and put away. I think you saw earlier, I picked all the peppers that were on my plants. I have left the plants for now. If it looks like the wind's going to get a lot worse, I may go out and pull them. But we had one rain shower this afternoon, which gave us a little break to come inside and just sit and relax and do a few things. And we were back out tying down, and you can tell I look a mess. It's been a long day, and I'm tired. The rain's supposed to get here overnight, and then we've got 100% chance of rain tomorrow. Not that it will rain constantly, because a lot of times when you get the bands, it'll rain really hard and heavy for a while, and then it'll stop, and then it'll rain really hard and heavy again. So we've still got a couple of things outside we want to do, and we can do that in between rain showers. And right now it's just a waiting game. Where does it actually come ashore? What path does it actually take? And what are the winds and rain like when Hurricane Ian goes over? So anyway, we'll see what happens the next couple of days. We were pretty busy trying to catch some of the water that was blowing in through the windows and coming in dripping from the ceiling. So we were a little preoccupied with that. But I think you can see on here how some of the wind kept blowing by in sheets, blowing the plants around, and just kind of a miserable day outside overall. Hey y'all, it's Friday morning, September 30th, 2022, and this is the aftermath. And this is the good part. Pile of shingles, so yeah, we've got roof damage. The guttering stuff, that wasn't off of our house, so I'm not sure where it came from. It was in the yard, so I picked it up. I'm starting to get plants back out. So everything out here did okay. It's fine. And actually the garden, I'm pleasantly surprised. If you can hear the chainsaw in the background, other people are having other things they're trying to deal with today, and a lot of people are without power. We never lost it, and that is such a blessing. Anyway, green beans got pretty knocked around. I may be able to save some of them, so we'll see. The bell peppers, I'm just shocked at how well they did it on it. So there were some blooms. I'm gonna have to see if they're still there, but anyway, they made it. The moringa, can you see that, bent over? But they're meant to be in the tropics and take wind like that, so that's good. And the cannas are going to need to be trimmed up really good. They really got blown around back there, but that was expected, no big deal. So overall, everything did really good. I'm kind of pleased with how well stuff did in between the two raised beds, so I'll be doing that again in the future. And the big news is we had part of our roof blown back. It's not actually off. We did lose, like I said, some shingles, but the roof over our living room is a flat roof, and it got blown back. So we've got we've got water damage, and at 11:30 last night, part of the ceiling fell. So we're going to have a big project with that, but we're here and moving forward. Hey everyone, it is now Sunday, October 2nd, 2022, and I wanted to show you kind of the aftermath of some of the damage that we got. And I will say it many times, we are so lucky compared to so many others. We did not have any flooding whatsoever. Our damage came from the roof blowing off and the water damage from that. So let's take a look at that. Got some on the wall. We've got insulation and some of the buckets to clean up. And then this is our big sofa. It got some water and stuff splashed on it. Most of the rest of it I think is okay. We've just covered everything up so that we can keep it from getting damaged further if anything else falls. But nothing has fallen, maybe other than a few pieces of insulation, since Thursday night. So now we've got to get all that cut out and repaired. And my husband and his brother-in-law think they can do it. We also had a lot of water coming in the windows. Now these windows are the original to the house, so they're old, single pane. But it wasn't coming in where the window's closed. It was mainly coming in up here where it's screwed in. And it looks like this is starting to separate out. So we've got some issues with that as well. The room was an addition to the house. But this was part of the original. That's a flat roof in the living room. That's where it started. But we've also got some of the shingles came off, and you can see a few places where it's the paint's starting to mess up. So we had some drips going on here, but in here in the dining room, I think you can see that big stain over it. That wasn't, we had drips in here, and the drips started right over in this area. You may be able to see there's a little bit of crack goes there, and that's where the drips were going. And then it started expanding around the vent, and now it's just, water's just gotten in up there. So that's what we've got. I'm gonna have to do some repair work in here. Now these are plaster ceilings. So it's probably I think we're gonna be able to just clean that up really good, and of course take care of stuff in the attic, and then repaint this. And then for more fun and games, I currently don't have drainage out of my sink because it clogged up. I noticed this, I think on Friday. I came in here, was doing something, washing my hands or something, and the water didn't seem to be draining. And then I came back a little while later, and it was fine. I washed the dishes that night without a problem. And then yesterday I came in here and was getting ready to wash dishes, and it had clogged up again. So my husband took out the P-trap, cleaned it out, put it back on, ran some more water through, and it was still doing it. So they have taken out, I don't think you maybe see the pipe there, and it's clogged up. We've got drain cleaner It's been sitting in it overnight, and so I can use the sink. The water's fine. I've got a bucket there that I can empty out, and just one more challenge to try to deal with as we recover from Hurricane Ian. And I'm wondering if it was something about the change in pressure as the hurricane came through that pulled stuff up out of our pipes or the sewer system or something and has kind of clogged it up. They've been old. They need to, yeah, it was going to happen anyway, but just kind of came out of nowhere. So I'm thinking this may be something related to the hurricane as well, but who knows? The garden, however, seems to have weathered it quite well. The green beans, they've lost some leaves and stuff, but the plants seem okay. I may stake a few of them, but really, they came back pretty good. The cucumber seems to have survived pretty well in the garage for a couple of days. And the pepper plants that I thought would just get absolutely shredded really are in good shape. And I've got a few little ones still trying to grow on there, so I'm gonna go through them and look. The ones that have something growing on it, I think I'm gonna leave in for now. The others I may go ahead and pull and start planting some stuff for the fall garden. But yeah, the moringa's not looking great, but I think it'll be okay. Really, very, very lucky out here. The cannas got blown around, and I knew they would because of where I put them, but I think they'll come back and it'll be fine. And I planted dill seed last week, and it's starting to come up, and that sat out of the storm, so I'm really impressed with that. Maybe that dill will make it. Always before, most of the damage and the time we spent cleaning up has been out in the yard with trees and stuff, but because we've taken so many trees down lately, we really didn't have much yard work to do. We're spending more time picking up shingles from the roof than anything else. But everything seems to be going okay out here, so I guess it's back to cleaning up inside.